ॐ स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। The path of bhakti as the supreme for the present age, where we are in the world with all temptations and attractions around, and bodily existence which constantly demands comforts and pleasures. It doesn't want to take strain, it doesn't want to do tapasya, it doesn't want to sacrifice. Such a nature we have acquired, and we are amidst the world, materialistic world, and the whole world is rushing towards enjoyment. We are influenced constantly not by divine awareness but by the worldly awareness. In this, to resist the flow and to contemplate on the divine becomes difficult. If we have love of God, which will not tear you from the world, but slowly you become indifferent to it, doing all the duties with great love. This is what we need. The heart of heart is given to God. Body and mind are working in the world. This is what Sri Ramakrishna wanted. And another thing, Sri Ramakrishna's idea was, a few alone can renounce. Renunciation is both the path of renunciation, tyaga, nivritti, marga, and passing through all the enjoyments, going beyond enjoyments, through viveka and vairagya cultivation, going beyond it, passing through it and going beyond it, and attaining God in this very life before the evening of life sets in. This ideal of rishis lived in the world with family and friends, with all functions and ceremonies, and at the same time did the spiritual practices and attained the ultimate goal of human life. This whole thing, the Rishiyut, to live ultimately as the Jivan Muktas, struggle as the householders, just like novice and the man of perfection. We pass through that and come around. Sri Ramakrishna's ideal was to make every householder a sage on this earth. So the renunciates will be upholding the ideal and carrying on the light. Under that light, all the householders will work out their own end. This was the idea Sri Ramakrishna wanted to bring. And this is possible when Advaitic Vedanta is adopted completely as it is, that I am not body, Brahman alone is real, by the sannyasis, and pure devotional path adopted by the householders. When in the householder, we must have the strong rock foundation of Advaita and build a beautiful edifice of Dvaita in which we dwell with God. God must become a part of our day-to-day life. Just like here, I am in US now, United States, and see every house, every person almost has a dog, and they move with dog. They cannot leave the house and go because dog is there. Almost whole thing. One or two people at home and a dog. How the ancient people used to live with God, these people are living with dog. And we see that the moment they enter home, at all times, wherever they are, behind and by the side is that dog. Feed it, take care of it, take it for outing, for its nature's call, take it. All these they do. A dog which could live independently in nature beautifully, we bring it inside and spend our whole life in pursuing it. How much of same thing we have to do with God. Live with God. Make God a part of your life, inseparable part of life. While sitting for food, let Him be occupy one of the chair as if. While taking bath, take Him with you. That pure Ganga water, let it fall on your head and clean your whole body and mind. So wherever you go, whatever you in the field of activities, work, let Him be watching over you, let Him be guiding your thoughts, let Him be from inside, keep you calm and pleasant amidst all the people and rushing activities of the world. So this is what Sri Ramakrishna wanted. When you are there with God, you are totally insulated from the world, though you are there amidst the world. You are safe, untouched by the world, because world lives outside you, God lives within you. Within you when something is there. If within world is not there, you will be the most happiest person on this earth. We carry the world wherever we go. And the world within is most painful, and then the without. Without, we are separating every moment. We are separately sitting in the world. But we carry the people, their tellings, their talkings, events, all this. It is when you open the eyes, nothing is there. An event has passed yesterday. It is not there at all in the universe, but it is there in your mind giving you pain. So when the inside is filled with God and no world is there and external world is there, it doesn't matter. It is not going to bother you because it is changing, and if you are in the present, nothing of the past or nothing of the future remains there. Only what you see now. So this, when you love God and keep Him inside and world outside, you are constantly evolving, and every act of yours, thinking, seeing, feeling, all that is constantly becoming a worship unto God. You are with God, you are worshipping God, you are holding God, God is holding you, and you are moving in the world safely, untouched by the world, untouched by the old, your vasanas also. Slowly vasanas will die away. Vasanaksha itself is realization of God. So all those vasanas which are detrimental to jnana and bhakti, which are obstructing the inner love of God, which is obstructing your jnana and viveka and making you involved in the world, giving value for the people's words and things, all this will stop. So this is what we need. Sri Ramakrishna is again and again insisting on this part of the bhakti with which you live with God. So Sri Ramakrishna is telling how to cultivate that intensity, how to cultivate that closeness by which you are in the world but not of it. Then Sri Ramakrishna is, weep at least once to see God. Weep at least once, ekabara, Hari Bol. That one time at least, weep for God. It is the seed within. Every one of us is totally divine and divine through and through. But just in waking state, I identify with this body. This identification with body is creating and keep presenting a world outside. Whether we see good or bad or right or wrong, whatever it is, it has no value. Because it is not there. I am seeing it because of the identification with the body alone. Suppose I sleep, the world is not there. When I wake up, identify with again the world presents. When I sleep, identify with the dream body, dream world presents. When I wake up, dream world is not there. This world, I identify with this body, this world is there. When I dissociate with this body, world is not at all there. Neither my body is there. So this, when you weep, we are divine. Just identification with body alone. But for that, you know you are eternally divine, eternally pure, and you are the ocean of bliss, Ananda Swarupa. That you will know just by. That's why we weep for God. God is transcendental aspect. God transcends all this whole universe and all beings. He transcends and pervades this universe. His pervasion is making us see and understand. Somebody talks, I understand. I am able to see the world. I am able to perceive. The perception is possible because I am pervaded by that God. The world is pervaded by the transcendental reality, the all-pervading Chaitanya. Vishwa Chaitanya is pervading. That this world is presenting itself. If it is withdrawn, the world disappears. World is not there. So His pervasion is making this world visible and us able to perceive. So this God, which is transcendental, which is pervading everything, which is present in every object on this earth, is being. You are weeping for that. When you weep for that, once this inner divinity which is hidden, which is in the dormant state, and like seed, it is there in dormant state. In seed, the whole tree is there in dormant state and in a unmanifest state. When you put water, the moment it touches, the water touches it, it starts germinating. The touch of water for a seed is sufficient to germinate. Nothing else is needed, just a touch of water. So like that, divinity is in seed form. When you weep for God, keeping all things aside, just once, Sri Ramakrishna says, once you weep for God, once. If you weep once, that water, the tears of your heart touch the divinity which is in, it slowly starts germinating. It takes time. You'll forget that you have wept for God, but God will not forget you that He has wept for me. You are busy again in the world. Some moment came in your life that you could weep for God, sitting in a corner for some reason, or out of love or need, or with the sankalpa, I have to realize God. You might have wept. But that weeping, next moment you are again in the world, you forget in time, within a few weeks, you forget that I wept for God also. But God is aware of the tears that you spend on Him. He is watching. He is managing your life. He is managing your inner software, which you have brought from many, many lives you have acquired and brought. That software is containing lot of desires and tendencies you have acquired. So God is managing it and started cleaning. You see, certain things form like crust, and it's very difficult to remove it. If it is just ordinary heating the vessel and cooking, you will see that you can easily wash it off. Suppose you keep the vessel on the firewood and cook it. When your cooking is finished and food is over, you need about 1 hour for cleaning it, rubbing. The bottom has become so black. And leave it for 2 days, it becomes more and more hard to remove. Similarly, the immersion heater which we use for heating water, you can see within no time soon crust forms, hard crust. You cannot remove it. After it becomes little thick, you have to tap and break like breaking a shell. Like that, it takes time to God is slowly, without hurting you, without giving you pain. The tears that you spent for realizing Him, for calling upon Him, with a desire to see Him, that God will be slowly start working. Like Sudarshana Chakra, it will be lives after lives, what you have acquired, thousands of lives or millions of lives you might have passed, acquiring little by little of the dirt. And now we have, by grace of God, has attained a human body again. Again and again opportunity is given, bringing us back to the human body. When our karmas are equal, Papa Punya are equal, we get a human body. If sinful activities are more, we will go to the lower life, still greater, and we don't have the strength of any virtue at all, then we go to the lower planes of existence, Atala Vitala Sutta. If we are higher, our virtues are greater than our sinful activities, we go to the higher lokas, Bhubhuva Swaha Vajana Tapasatyam, one by one. If they are almost equal, little differences, we are born in the same earth as animals, beings, humans, and people with all comforts and facilities. Like that, we are born here, it's a small differences. When they are equal almost, then we see we have got a human body. And this human body, when it comes, only in human body we have the buddhi that can make us transcend the nature and go beyond. Buddhi is the one thing which can make this life comfortable by taking the resources of nature and the powers of nature, utilizing them. I can make my life comfortable here, and I can transcend with the same buddhi, converting the buddhi into dhi, dhiyo yona prachodayata, the spiritual consciousness, converting it to dhi. I can transcend the nature, the higher intellect. Dhi is higher intellect, buddhi is lower intellect, which is associated with the world. Dhi is higher intellect, associated with the transcendental realm. Secrets of nature can be known, and transcending is possible if the dhi is awakened within. So this dhi has to be awakened, and this whole process God will be doing from within. You subject yourself to God, ask Him to do, because it is beyond our capacity to do, because we are within the realm of nature, time, space and causation. Every act binds us, every object that we see or perceive makes us forget God. So whatever you do, get up and open the eyes, God is forgotten. You are sitting for meditation, prayer, you are remembering God, just to open your eyes and see it, look at the world, it makes you forget God. So in this world we are staying with all the tendencies towards the world. So God has to clean from within. You have to subject yourself. Like in sunny days, what we do is the things from the household, like wheat, dal and all, we put in the sunshine so that the water portion gets evaporated and becomes fresh and hard. So we expose things to the sunshine. We expose so that sun will be able to evaporate the humidity in it, the water portion in it. That exposing to sun, like that, exposing to God. See, I am this. Change me, give me life, show me the path. So This is weeping for God. Sri Ramakrishna, once you weep for God, weep at least once to see God. These then are the two means: practice and passionate attachment, constant practice. We all in the monastery, you can see seconds together we observe the timings. 5 o'clock Aarti, morning Aarti means 5 o'clock exactly. The inside the pujari will be waiting, looking at the clock to fill that second. 59, 4:59, 4:60, the bell and this one, he raises from his seat to do the Aarati. 7:30 tiffin, 7:30 rings the bell. So whole thing is regulated by time, and our spiritual practices also. After the morning Mangalarti, we are not busy with the world. If you may have a little work, 1 or 2, all others will sit for meditation. One may have to do the cooking and run to the kitchen. Another may have to do the worship of the Lord in the shrine. So except these two, all others sit there and regularly, every day, that is a free time. And then after the morning tiffin, all other activities begin. From sunrise to sunset, it is totally given to the world and activity. And again at the sunset, we all retire for Sandhya Arati. And after that, till morning, the Mangalarati is over, morning meditation is over. It is entirely given to God. So this is the monastic life. In the household life also, you have to get up a little early before all others get up, or the sadhakas get up. We get up with them, 1 or 2 who are interested in spiritual life, or you alone get up 15-20 minutes earlier, half an hour earlier before others get up, and finish off calling on God freely, without any awareness of the external world, of your past, of your future. Nothing, drop away all things from the mind and call upon God. This is the regular practice. Evening, we don't know where will be. Morning hours, we are mostly undisturbed. So, fix in such a way. When we were taking initiation from the President Maharaj, our senior Swamis told us, without finishing your morning upasana, with the initiation mantra diksha, will be given a small procedure, about 20 minutes procedure, and then will be given again evening one small 15-20 minutes to spend in upasana, and a mantra will be given to be repeated. And as far as possible, be aware of the divine and try to repeat the mantras at all other times, sitting for morning and evening, small upasana to be done. So this upasana you have to finish. This contains 5 aspects of sadhana. Prayer, you begin the prayer with praying for world and end with your own needs. Realization of God, and then worship of Ishta Devata. Before that we worship Ganesha and Guru, and then worship of the Ishta Devata. Prarthana, Puja and Japa, repetition of God's name, Dhyana, meditation and Atma Samarpana. These 5 together is called Upasana. So this Upasana, without finishing Upasana, don't take morning for tiffin. Then without finishing Upasana, don't go to bed to sleep. So by this we see that we have never missed in our life any time the Guru's order to sit and meditate in the morning and evening. Whole life this procedure lasts. This is how we move, practice, regular practice. Whole life, a small picture of the Holy Trio, Thakur Mother Swamiji. Wherever they go, they carry it. and they live with it. So this is what this regular practice and passionate attachment for God. This is one is regular practice by which you maintain the link. The link itself is not sufficient. I am going to the office every day. I am just for the sake of money or wealth or needs to satisfy. I am going for works and then work for the whole day and come back. I need not have passionate attachment there. I do my work and I get my salary. There it ends, the contract ends. But there are certain places where you may not be working, still you have passionate attachment. So one is your duties, like your acts, regular practice is one thing, and passionate attachment for God is another thing. That is, you are intimately related to God. You are developing that slowly from Parichaya, introduction, I am introduced to God. From Parichaya, we develop the Sambandha by constantly reading the Leela of God. We develop the daily, Vaishnavas are supposed to read the Bhagavata every day, at least as much as possible. It may be half a page, it may be one paragraph, it may be 5 lines, doesn't matter, but don't miss it, they say. So constant study, whatever you constantly contemplate upon, with that you develop the one relationship. So here, being with constant thought of divine, you develop the Sambandha. From introduction, Parichaya, you go to Sambandha, relationship. From introduction to relationship. From relationship, you develop the intimacy, Atmiyata. And this Atmiyata is what Sri Ramakrishna is telling, that passionate attachment for God. How will you cultivate? Slowly, by repeating satsanga, hearing from others, going to people who have reached Him by grace of God. If your longing is there, some satsanga you will get, genuine satsanga. Many satsangas, commercial, are available now everywhere. Wherever there is a possibility of earning money, people try to put their hand. So also the spiritual world. Many are there after enjoyments, possessions, and wealth. They are also try to give the instructions and take the part of Guru and play. So genuine, if you are longing for God, God will arrange for a genuine satsanga by which you will slowly develop the pure love of God without any expectations. From Sambandha, we move towards the intimacy with God. This is passionate attachment for God. Now you can no more forget God. You are in and through all activities like two lovers, always thinking of each other. God and Bhakta and Bhagavan will be in that state of internal deep love and attachments. This is called passionate attachment for God. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.